Bump it up a little more, and I want to see if it actually works again.
Even if it turns out it was us.
I just don't understand why it still looks so fucking fuzzy. Like, it's all moving correctly, but it's still so fuzzy.
Bonus points.
I don't understand why it feels like everybody else, like nobody else has this fucking issue. I feel like I'm the only fucking person that genuinely has this issue all the time. Because I can't find a good fucking setting where this shit just works. Why did you make a 25 fucking minute video of this?
In specific, this is where it's going to be a little bit, and click this difficulty. Let this so you don't want that. Now this is where how it's actually functioning. So at the top, Streamlabs gives you could change important settings. Is also one of the most important settings to understand when you're streaming. Basically, how I would put it is if your upload speed when you run a speed test is not at least a solid, consistent 10 up, then you're not going to be able to live stream very well unless you're streaming at pretty low quality. So make sure your upload speed, wherever you're at in the world, is at least a 10 upload. If you don't have at least a 10, again, it's going to be tougher to stream because you just pretty much don't have enough internet bandwidth to stream well at good quality without any impact on your performance of your internet as a whole. Now, if you're somebody that has internet well above 10, whether you have 20 up, 50 up, 100 up, 1,000 up, if you have gigabit, then you're good to go. You don't need to worry about anything else. As long as you have ideally 20 or higher upload speed, then you're definitely pretty good.
20.9 is what mine just sat at.
And 60 FPS at a solid bitrate. So just know that. I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds on that, but that's basically the guidelines I would give you.
Why does nobody get deep? Why does nobody actually talk about it? Why is it that everybody just goes, but we're going to skim over that. We're not going to really get into that in this video. Well, can somebody fucking get into it, please?
Upload speed of at least 10 or more. So your video bitrate, if you're assuming you want to stream at 1080p resolution, which is kind of your standard high definition, which most people are going to want to stream at if you're able, you're going to want to set this video bitrate anywhere between 4,500 and 6,000. This is going to give you some decent quality, and it's really preferred by the platforms, especially Twitch, I think limits you at 6,000.
Fun fact, I put it at 6,000 and it still came out fuzzy as fuck. Like I'm getting so pissed. Like, I'm sorry, it still looks so fuzzy to me. I mean, like, it's not horrible. Like, admittedly, it's not horrible. Maybe I'm just being super fucking picky. I don't know. I think what I just had it at looks worse.
YouTube's a little bit different. You can see some of their specifications on their website, which I'll link to YouTube's and Twitch's guidelines below if you want to check them out. But here I'll actually drag some over so you can see them. So this is YouTube's specifications. Again, I'll link this below so you can check it out. It shows you some different resolutions and frame rates and what you want to actually set your bitrate to. They just don't have them in the like thousands here, but this would be like 4,000. This would be 10,000. This would be 3,000. Of course, and basically this is how much upload speed it's using of your internet, which is again why it's important to have at least 10 for doing 1080p, because you're going to need to send it enough to be able to get that video out at a good quality. And then here is some of the Twitch guidelines if you want to take a look at this. 6,000 bitrate, which is what I'm going to suggest here, is what Twitch recommends for 1080p 60. Yes, going higher on your bitrate can increase your quality, is one way to increase your quality, but in this case, with Twitch especially, they're going to limit most normal accounts at 6,000 anyway. So this is going to be
We don't stream on Twitch.
Step-by-step guide on how to use Streamlabs
Fuck.
desktop. If you are using another software like on your with especially
we don't use Twitch.
The NVIDIA graphics card, important settings, the FPS or even 30 FPS. Now the encoder, this is a very important setting as well. Most people that have a NVIDIA graphics card, I'm going to recommend the NVENC new encoder or just NVENC, whichever one it says. The NVENC encoder is going to be a dedicated encoder on your graphics card of NVIDIA graphics cards.
I know that.
We're encoding. It's going to give you the best quality. Could be bad, or you just want the maximum quality. Now, if you don't want to do that for some reason, or you want to try something different, or you just want the maximum quality, you're going to want to do the software X264 encoder. Now this is going to work off of your CPU for the encoding, which could be bad if you're trying to game and you need that CPU power for your game. But if you do have a higher end system, you can probably still get away with the software encoding. It's going to give you the best quality overall, although NVENC new is still pretty good. So really you could use either one of these, maybe experiment with your specific use case. But for most people, to avoid any possible issues, probably just use NVENC new. It's really good, it's got good quality, and it should have pretty much no impact on your computer while you're trying to do other things. And now we get down to the recording part. Here you can just leave it at
I'm not recording while I stream.
When you get fast, reliable
Fuck
internet from
off,
Verizon.
Verizon. Why the fuck is their actual video so quiet, but then the ad is so loud?
But let's go ahead and change this to advanced, and I'll show you a couple more options here. So first up is if you are doing software encoding with X264. Another thing when you're not on simple is actually important. Make sure you have CBR rate control. You want to make sure you're on constant bit rate when you're live streaming.
Okay, I'm gonna try